Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to the second season of Voice of Aroha on frequency 106.1 FM from Wellington, New Zealand. We're really excited coming back to you this season. We have a whole bunch of new members who will be introducing themselves soon. And we're also going to be continuing our sponsorship by Host International and Wellington Access Radio, which we're really excited for. Welcome back, team. Today, right now, I have with me Cordrian and Michael, and we have our new members, Zara and Martine. How are you guys?
Good. Welcome to the new
good.
one.
Good, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, really good.
How are you, Najas?
I'm good. I want you guys to take a moment to introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about you if you'd like. We've introduced you, Martine, before. We've had an interview with you. So it's really cool to have you back. But Zara, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're joining us?
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Zara. I'm currently in my last year at law school at Victoria University of Wellington. And yeah, it's amazing to be with Voice of Aroha. I really was excited to come here and join your show. It's so great that you guys are giving an opportunity for people to share their views about different issues concerning our community. And yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of this. I'm also very passionate about issues concerning the community, whether they be about human rights or multicultural or interfaith topics. So it's great to be here.
And great to have you, Zara. Welcome. Michael, how are you being and how is going and how is everything's going with you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Life's relatively 2020 has been an alright year for me, which I don't think many people can say that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the second season of Voice of Aroha. I think this season's we're going to be able to expand on a lot of things, including like community engagement and really getting a lot of different people's point of views on what their experiences were this year. That's something I'd like to explore. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season.
That's cool. Martine, how about you? How have you been doing? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, I've been, I guess, all right, given what's happened this year. Pretty privileged in the sense that I've still got my job. And I'm now, I've got this opportunity to be with Voice of Aroha, being on the other side. So you interviewed me a few months ago. So it's really nice privilege to be on this side as well, and just being part of the team and being able to sharing the good stuff that you do.
We are glad to have you, Martine. Thank you. And actually, I'm so excited to have all the team back and also seeing the new members joining us, which is, I think, more variety to this platform that when we stayed even in season 1, this is a platform open for everyone and it's a platform for people. I think that's why we are joining to do this season or joining this, actually, the Voice of Aroha, I think, is just because seeing more people, more voices, more variety, that's what make us to continue.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I want us to also, you guys have been kind of involved with quite a bit, as we were kind of on our break. So it would be cool to hear more about the interfaith event that happened between IFC and Voice of Aroha a couple of weeks ago. And then I want to ask you and Martine Cordrian about what you guys have been working on with the university and creating more opportunities for our community. I think that's really awesome. And I really want, I'm really inspired by you guys and want you guys to talk about that as well.
Sure, starting Zara.
Yeah, so it was amazing to collaborate for the interfaith event with Voice of Aroha, and just on behalf of IFC, it was wonderful partnering with you all, and it was such an amazing opportunity to have 3 of the Abrahamic faiths, Jewish, Christianity, and also Islam. All speakers from these 3 faiths were represented, and it was amazing, a very enjoyable event, and a lot of good questions and discussion around the referendum issues, as well as sharing what their ideas on justice, mercy, and peace look like from their religious perspective. And we really enjoyed it and got really good feedback from community members, and everyone's asking when part 2 of Interfaith will
Sure,
be.
yeah.
It just needed to be longer.
Yeah. was
was-
it 1 hour?
It was aimed to 1 hour, but it took 2 hours.
2 hours,
more.
Yeah,
So
2
it's
hours,
great.
and then it didn't finish until about 9 p.m.
Yeah,
We were
that's
still
right.
there,
Yeah.
I left us even there.
That's People start asking them like individually more and more to explore more questions, which was very interesting.
Yeah, because there were 3 pretty cool guys. Like they had such good chemistry as like leaders, like
That's
sitting up
right,
there. There wasn't
yeah.
really like tension or my view was right. It was such a cool environment to be in, and they were discussing very relevant things to what we're going through right now, especially with the referendums coming up and
Yeah.
how people of faith can approach the questions. So that was really fun.
Yeah.
Fun night.
I think and we got also too many views if you search when we did it alive on Facebook. I think the video been viewed 350 now, maybe more,
Wow, that's amazing.
which is great. And then
yeah.
people start messaging like even Sarah mentioned even same side that the members in just other communities. Oh, you did this events where we can see it, and where are you doing the second one? Tell us, we want to come. So I think. It is great being a partner with IFC, which stands for what, Sarah? IFC?
Yeah, so IFC stands for International Friendship Club,
Yeah.
and the purpose of it is just to encourage cross-cultural relationships, especially helping international university students on campus to make friends with Kiwi students, and just to give opportunities for people to learn about different cultures. So we have a different cultural presentation every week, and just this coming week we'll be doing Cambodia.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Very nice. Yeah, I think so. This is also one of the point that when we met the first team about Voice of Aroha points to bring different dialogues and talks about different cultures, understanding. So having international students, from different cultures and countries, and having these dialogues and talk about the countries is adding too much also for too many experience to know about these specific countries. So we are also looking very forward for more things to do together with IFC as being.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to keep our collaborations happening.
Sure.
There's strength in diversity, and it's so wonderful that Voice of Aroha wants to promote multiculturalism and different communities in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we actually were just talking about this before we started recording, how we don't only need a lot more interfaith or community work, but also interfaith community work. I think that's something that we neglect a lot as well. When you have people from the same religion but different denominations, I think we struggle to kind of build bridges and come together in that sense as well. So it'll be really, really important and interesting to work on both of those at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting topic, Nargis, and it would definitely be great as part of Interfaith to also have an event for intrafaith communities. I think it would be very popular, and it would give our community a chance to learn more and to grow
definitely.
closer together, to promote harmony between the same religion but different denominations.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Martin, comment on this. What are your views?
Yeah, I was going to say it's also a really good angle to talk about faith when we talk about culture and diversity and inclusion, because a lot of times when you talk about diversity and inclusion, I think people think about race or language. So it's good that you guys brought that angle as well of other things that are diverse, and there are that we need to think about when we think about diversity and inclusion. So it's a really good thing. I think that's what I'll be looking forward to in season 2 is broadening our thinking around that topic. So there is also diversity in ability as well. There is the diversity in experience. So for example, when we talk about former refugees, which is the topic I'm really, really passionate about, it's actually beyond racial diversity. It's actually about the diversity of life experiences, because of something that we've gone through at one point in time. So it's really good to bring that kind of conversation as well about faith, because it's another dimension as well. It's really interesting. So well done, you guys. I'm sorry I missed it. But yeah, it's really good.
And hopefully we'll have more, Zara.
Yeah, definitely. I'm keen, and yeah, so many people are keen as well.
Sure. I think.
People want it, you have to give it to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give them what they want.
Yeah. You know, next time we can have perhaps an intra-faith event and have like a Sunni and Shia speaker, or like a Catholic and Protestant speaker.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, liberal Jew and
Yeah.
Orthodox Jew. Really widen
At
it.
the same time, also, it'll be like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like a panel.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure people would love it, and our speakers would definitely enjoy
Yeah,
it.
bring a lot of communities together, and I think we're lacking that a lot. Yeah,
And I think it'd be also good having some Eastern religions in as well.
definitely.
Some Buddhists, especially
Yes.
from Southeast Asia and Hindu as well.
I
And
agree.
getting their perspective and seeing how their religions and Judeo-Christian religions align.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone.
No, definitely. So when we first started talking about the interfaith event, I was saying to Kodrian that this is only the first episode, and the series would be called Living in Religious Harmony,
respect-
respecting the
Differences.
differences and loving the commonalities.
Yeah.
And the Abrahamic faiths would only be our first episode, and we would definitely go into like Hinduism, Buddhism, invite someone from the Sikh community,
I would
and
love that.
also Jainism. So all the different pantheistic worldviews as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to get an answer of like who's right and wrong. That's not our intention at all. But it's just like understanding people's different point of view and
That's
upbringing,
right.
and just bringing them together.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely right. To promote understanding and harmony,
Yeah.
and to respect people.
Yeah. Go
That's right,
go
yeah.
beyond tolerance and go into acceptance is definitely important. Go ahead, Marty.
No, I was going to say sometimes it also gives you the opportunity to know that we're more similar than different. So once you kind of bring people together who kind of think that we're different because we've got different religions or different, some of us don't believe in religion and stuff like that. Actually, once you bring people together, we find so many more similarities as well. So it's a really good platform to do that, just to respect each other and our own different worldviews.
Definitely, yeah.
Really good.
Yes, definitely, sure. And that's how we are. We are making a surprise for the audience that this season, this episode will be like a cut into two. So we will have like around 30 minutes as a guest speaker, and the second part of the same episodes will be around, let's say, 20 minutes. We can call it community talk or topic of the week or something like
Which
that.
is never long enough, really. We always go above.
Yeah, I mean, this is something why we are doing this kind of episode. Maybe this kind of that 20 minutes we can use some sort of talk about this community issues and etc. and what they need and that kind of things. But look at the terms of interfaith events, that then we need a whole day or something more prepared, which is like we did that one where Amos was 1 hour, but it took 2 hours and something of
I'd love to
conversation.
organise like a half-day event or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I mean, yeah, why not? It's really this season I'm looking into in a vision a way to be a difference. Having this diverse of the team, 10 people here around, which is some of them being on the production team and some others being host or co-hosting. So what I'm looking it's really any one of you guys free to like lead a topic or want to talk about something, just feel free to do it, because I would love to help out just in this of these topics, and also I would love maybe to do some special talks, for example. So we may have some special talks that someone can lead community talk, and that community talk we can bring more people from different communities that they can having special session today about this community, learning about the culture, because how is important to learn about interfaith or faith of specific religion and etc. It's also important to learn about the community culture, community issues, and that's how we can maybe it's a way to raise their voice and strengthening their voice and help who are listening, our audience, to get maybe some officials and governments to look at the issues and matters of the people and have some sort of solutions. So so this season will be more diverse, more things to come and new things, so we cannot really decide it in the moment, but we have things already planned. So just this is the first one. You will continue listening so you can be listened to the surprise, and you can also follow our pages on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm talking out to the audience, so you can know more about the plans and interesting things coming with Voice of Aroha. Now, just tell us, how was your things going, how you are busy with, and what you are expecting season 2.
Why are you putting me on the spot? No, I wanted you guys to talk first about.
Oh yeah.
Are
Okay.
you allowed to talk about it? Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong. You're the refugee background student advisor at Victoria University, and Martin, you work with the Ministry of Education.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have been working and developed a kind
Yes.
of internship for refugee
Yes,
background
I
students.
will leave that. Maybe Martin, you start with that because she come with this idea.
Yep.
Tell us about this exciting. And I think there's a time. No, but I think talk about the initiative and how this idea has been created and etc.
So at the Ministry of Education, we are working on a pilot for internship places for refugee background students or recent graduates. So this is an idea that came from within my team, so from a colleague of mine who she's from New Zealand, but she's very interested in this space, and she knows that I'm also interested in the same things. And she came to me one day and said, "Hey, what do you think about talking to HR to have dedicated?" The ministry has a summer internship program for 3 months, but we kind of just know that there are barriers for some of our community members to actually get into workplaces like the public sector because of the perception about working in a public sector from some of our background. So we wanted to have dedicated places, and it's now confirmed. So we've had the job ad go out, I think 2 weeks ago, Codrian?
Yes. Yes, that's right.
Last week, maybe.
Yes, last
I think
week.
it was last week.
And
yeah.
25th
So,
is the
applications
deadline.
closed this Friday. Yeah, so it's open 25th, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
So, the applications close this Friday. It's open to anybody in New Zealand who is a refugee background student. And I'm not going to give you specifics just yet, just in case I get it wrong on radio. So
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's the last 2 years or the last year, the second to last year of your tertiary studies, or you have you recently graduated in the last 2 years as well. And so we've been also working with Victoria University, with Codrian and Kirsten as well, to kind of think about the sort of support that the students will need, so including helping them with their CVs and cover letters and applications and things like that. So very, very excited to be doing this, and it's a pilot, but we're hoping that it's something that's going to be carried through to not just our Ministry of Education, but to the rest of the public sector as well in the years to come. So looking forward to working with you, Codrian, probably next week to kind of start putting the next steps together for selection.
Yeah, same here, same here.
So tell all your people, tell your friends, 2 days left, 3 days left. Tell your friends, your sisters and brothers and families, and make sure they apply, because it's a good opportunity, I think.
Yes, for sure, Martin. That's really exciting that you created this amazing initiative that is coming along. And we are happy that also Victoria University career team, especially with Christine Sharma and Rihanoon and other people, staff in the team, they are very helpful to support students within preparation, and then after, if they've been selected to the interview, also some kind of teaching how to be ready for the interview. So we are really looking forward for this step. Is a great first step, small step, but small things can make a big change later on. So we are also, through this radio, we want to encourage more institutions, more agencies to come forward and providing that kind of internships, especially for students. Any background doesn't matter, but just being open to having that chance of opportunity internships or scholarships for students, that will create more acceptance, more diversity in the institution or agencies itself. Yeah. So that was
absolutely
great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. That's
Yeah.
fine, yeah.
I mean, I know by the time we like air this episode, obviously the applications have closed, but I think it was really important for you guys to kind of mention this and talk about what you've been doing, because I think it just goes to show how important it is to have people like you guys in these spaces, because you kind of become a voice for us and you create these initiatives for students and for people of our backgrounds who otherwise wouldn't have had this opportunity granted to them or have access to these kind of opportunities. There's a lot of barriers that you guys are helping students with. And I think that's just awesome, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you, and apply for it if you are a student.
And position.
Yes, Martin, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say that exactly what you said now, just is that we shouldn't forget where we've come from as well, and because we're in those privileged positions, we should always remember the people behind us and how we kind of, you know, sometimes we forget how hard it was to get in these roles. So, yeah, we should just kind of keep helping each other, I think.
Yes, definitely. And maybe you mentioned it last season about the employment and advocacy. It's one of the barriers that people facing that, especially the qualified or non-qualified, or once the people arrive under the refugee code or under the refugee being backgrounds, all these barriers of employment is the biggest one. But I hope, like we said in the last year, too many episodes that we demanded for actions. So we hope see this year there will be some actions and etc.
That's something actually, yeah, I was hoping our season 2 was we're gonna be, you know, involved a lot more within community spaces in terms of having something tangible, right? Like, I love how we do these interviews and how we learn a lot from the people that come on the show. But I think it's just as important to have to create events that are very family friendly, kid friendly, and, you know, encourage people of our community to show up. I think you know, a very big problem that we have is like it's always the same people coming up to these events that are very necessary for everyone to learn from, and I don't think that's productive at all. I think we need to be encouraging and creating a very inclusive and welcoming space for everybody. And I think, you know, especially creating just like a child, even just something simple as a child-friendly event is very important, because we have to understand a lot of people in our community just don't have anywhere, you know, to put their kids. So
definitely.
Yeah.
It's cool then. So guys, I want to ask you, what do you want to see from season 2? So now I just talked about the events and being friendly, family-friendly events. Sarah, what are your expectations and what do you want to see or hear or guests to bring? What kind of idea you want to think to have in this platform?
Well, something I'm really excited for and looking forward to are the political talks that are going to happen about the upcoming elections and just the different lineup of MPs and other community leaders that are going to talk about what we expect from the government in the next upcoming election. And for New Zealand, I think that's a very important topic, especially in the COVID-19 recovery and how we're going to deal with this and what that means for especially the migrant communities and the visa situations and all of this. So I think it's a very important election for the migrant community.
Definitely.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually, there's something I'm looking forward to as well. Hopefully we can get a few candidates on our show. We already have recorded with one. We're excited to share that. But I think hearing from different parties is very important. We're not trying to like push a certain party on anybody, but keeping it neutral and just like asking questions relevant to us, because there's always debates and panels going on that are asking very general things. So it's very important to like bring it back and narrow the conversation into something that is more relevant to our communities.
That's right. And also encouraging our community members to become more engaged with the election and politics and what's happening with government in general. Because I think especially with migrant communities, there's always a trend to kind of just not be interested in government and political issues, especially because many of our own homelands have very disturbed politics themselves. So there's always the trend to just kind of like shy away and not discuss any of those rough issues that we should be talking about. So
Yeah,
I
and
think doing it in a friendly way and letting people know from our communities that their voices will be heard and that they can talk to MPs and they'll be listened to.
yeah.
Yes, totally agree. Michael.
Someone,
Martin, Michael, any one of you, go ahead. Want to comment about
You
that?
go.
Michael, go ahead.
Well,
I was just going to talk about what Sarah said. That it's almost like normalizing the election process in a political space for our
Yes.
communities, because we're not used to doing that. We're used to seeing that it's something so far away from us and something untouchable and something actually bad in the countries we come from, which is why a lot of us are here. So it's really nice to kind of make it, like you say, just have a friendly conversation and normalize the process and make it okay to actually participate in that space as well. So
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. And even telling people about voting and that, that they should go and vote, and in New Zealand their vote is actually going to count. Because quite often, like a lot of countries we come from, voting isn't a thing. Or even if voting does happen, it's often not fair and
Yeah, it's the same.
So it's important to teach our people. Yeah, exactly. So it's important to let our community members know how everything works and that their vote is important. We should be voting.
Definitely need that, and because I think most of them these countries afraid from voting, or that
Yes.
have that mindset of if I vote or not, the same government, so what
That's
will
right.
Yeah, I think
change.
it's that. I think it's one thinking their vote doesn't count, but then also I think there's a problem of there's no access to civic understanding for our communities. There isn't that kind of.
Yeah,
They're not really encouraged to understand more about our political system because there aren't really documents or events that kind of cater to them. And also there's also this kind of stigma where it's you're entitled if you're asking for a particular thing, and they don't want to come off as entitled. And that's something I think we need to get rid of as well.
yes, definitely, and also many people who arrive, their experience being different, who maybe then ran away from being in prison for many years, or had that trauma, etc. with them. So when they come in these countries, I think they try somehow to escape or be away from politics. Some others, they just say that stigma of afraid from being in politics again, or having that kind of, like you say, mentality of my vote will be count or not, that this will be same government or what will happen, and these kind of things. And also, maybe there's that point of maybe this community not being encouraged to shift that mentality, say, okay, now you're in New Zealand, this is the different, this is, you count this matter, this is not the same politics that they do in the other countries. So I think that kind of encouragement, maybe it's needed to be bring back, because especially this election is very important. They are holding two very important referendum, which is both of them may or may not align or align not with many communities' belief. So two referendum that is coming, you will find too many opinions, respect for all, but it's very encouraging to get these people to vote, even if you agree or not, is get there to vote for these two referendum or to the election in general.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if there's something been passed away, because it's a referendum and become a law later on, and once the next generations go up, then you see some sort of law is there, and they say, "Oh, why? What happened to this country?" and etc. Question or issues may arise or may not. So this people or community to not be shocked. They say, "Why New Zealand?" Then they need to understand this is the democratic way. This is the healthy way. We are asking people. They are asking all population to give their opinion.
And this election's all, on a whole other level again, because it's we're going to whoever the next leader is whoever's gonna lead us from the election on is gonna be managing our COVID recovery.
Yes,
And
that's right.
are they going to keep the borders closed? Are they going to open them up? What are they going to do to keep us safe and to get the economy running again as well? So whatever your views are on that, that's also something you should consider when you're voting,
That's
because
right.
Of course.
it's something that we didn't have to consider before, and now more than ever, it's really important.
Yes. The next 3 years will be very crucial, very important to the New Zealand future. So we have really, it will be a very tough and challenging time for the both not anyone to be in the government, but it's really important to people put their views on how they want to shape these futures. We go to Michael, our political analyst.
A guy on the inside. No, I had to stay quiet because
Whistleblower.
I might get in trouble if I start saying specific opinions about what I know. What I'm keen on more is on our engagement with the community and on community events and other community organisations. I see a lot of potential, especially during COVID, for a transformation of society, and in this transformation, there's going to be a lot of innovation and a lot of individuals with a lot of great ideas, and there are ways that they can get support from local government or central government. There are grants, there are resources available. I think that we are in a good position to be able to enable them to start a business or to invest in a digital related thing or whatever the case might be. I think with COVID, we're going to have to rethink a lot of how we view things. The free market, I don't want to get too political, but free market capitalism is not sustainable. And so we really need to think about how we consume and what we consume and how to create sustainable things. And to do that effectively, I think, is through the local level, not through central government. Central government never has power to do that because they're always got to worry about the taxpayer dollars and spending and funding, which takes years to get anything done. But the local communities, the individual, they're the ones who can get things done. We can get things done. So that's kind of what I want to help. Bring out in the community.
People power.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's such a great idea.
Very nice.
No, it would be wonderful to have some upcoming events where we invite people and encourage them to share their ideas of inventions or business ideas, and we can definitely help them, whether it's with giving legal advice on how to run businesses or other ways in connecting them.
Martine's mentorship.
Yeah, Martin's
Yes.
mentorship and other things we
Little
can do.
plug.
Oh, that's really good.
We can definitely sort of like maybe act as a bridge or something with a lot of refugee communities to coming into like the Citizen Advice Bureau and
Yes, yeah.
knowing and like teaching them that these are places that they can trust, you know, and get further advice on. But
Yeah, definitely. And
I think,
yeah, Martine, go ahead.
I was going to say, Michael, that kind of links in with some of my interests around bringing people together to come up with solutions to challenges that directly affect us. That kind of is what drove the Link platform that I founded last year, which is like a co-designing platform for former refugees and non-former refugee people to come together and kind of spend a day or two coming up with ideas to tackle some of the key challenges that we face. And this year I had wanted to focus on COVID impacts specifically. And so what I would love to really see coming up in season 2 for Voice of Aroha, because for me, like the key is Voice of Aroha, so it's all of New Zealand that we're interested in, and it's about how do we bring other people to the table as well to kind of empower new Kiwis and the new communities here in New Zealand. How do we make sure that we're providing the platforms and the space for those conversations to happen? And the innovations and all of those kind of things to actually come to fruition, because there's a lot of strength in the community, a lot of skills and knowledge and all of that we're not really tapping into. But it takes two to tango, so to say. So it will take like the new Kiwis as well as the established communities to work together, and we need to provide those platforms somehow. And I'm really interested in kind of rethinking how we view the word diversity, as I was saying to you. So diversity in skill, diversity in thinking, diversity in and ability and all of that kind of stuff is quite important, and that means we don't leave anyone behind. So we are actually bringing everybody together, and we have opportunities to not bring just people from the community on the show, but also people from the host community, as we would call them, so non-refugee communities, to also come on the show and say, this is how I think we could support the new Kiwis, so I think, there's a huge opportunity for all of New Zealand to work together, not just focusing on one side. And it's it's ripe with a lot of potential, but we just need to kind of enhance that, I guess, and harness a lot of that.
Well, I look forward to having further conversations with you about all the potentials. I could go on for hours about some of the ideas that we have, like digital inclusion is one thing, and just creating platforms, giving people opportunities to like express themselves freely. Yeah, too much to say in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I completely.
You're the first person on my invite list for the next event.
Yeah.
You can lead it.
And definitely, I just want to comment about a point that you mentioned, Martin. It's really important about having non-refugees or migrants in the platform. That's one of the points that we established. This is a Voice of Aroha, is to bring like host communities, Kiwi, Maori, Pacifica, everyone's is talking. And I think we will found this season to more partnership with, there is a Maori group. I don't want to name them now. It will be surprise. Later on, we will work with them. I'm just trying now in connection. There's more voices to hear about their communities, their individual stories. And because look, when we say Voice of Aroha, it means love. That means love of New Zealand and love of this land that we are all sharing and living with. So it's important to have anyone, and anyone is welcome.
I think we also have to be very intentional about it, intentional about including especially Indigenous voices. I think that's something that we definitely need to work on.
Yes. If you maybe remember, guys, we talked in one of the episodes about environment, how important it is to have Indigenous people being included in the process when they talk about climate change and environment, because they've been here for years and 1,000 years. So they know their lands and they know how to be, ready to protect it. Of course.
So we're just coming to the end. We're going to be including our other members later on. Hopefully they can record their part. But yeah, guys, any last thoughts, feelings, targets for our future?
Or maybe one word for season 2, exciting. Excited.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with Kodrian. So excited and really looking forward to all the awesome ideas we've planned. Yeah, looking forward to more speakers and more diverse in everything that Martin just said.
That's not one word.
Yeah, jeez.
One word. What would be one word? Ecstatic? That's a good word.
Okay, are we just going to stick with E? I'm going to say engagement.
Okay.
Think, Michael.
That's a
enlightenment.
Oh, wow.
Martin.
That's good.
Oh,
Martin.
That's a good one. Energized.
Nice.
Energized.
Awesome.
Wow, cool.
That's really satisfying.
Great. Luis, how are you doing? Tell us about yourself.
Hey, Kodrian. Good to see you. Good to see all of you. And it's a pleasure to be back in the radio show. I've been just busy at work and busy traveling around New Zealand. It's just a beautiful country, and people say like we just can't go overseas, but technically you have like so many places to go and things to do in New Zealand. It's such a beautiful country that has everything, beautiful beaches, mountains. We had rivers, we had the oceans. So I was traveling in the South Island my first time.
Oh, cool.
And
Where did you go?
I went to Queenstown, went to Dunedin, and I went to the Coromandel. Just beautiful places. And just make you realize that New Zealand is actually quite small, because from Auckland to Queenstown is only less than 2 hours. So I was like, oh, really? And I was almost at the bottom of the South Island. So yeah, traveling, working, and just coming out of the second lockdown. And I think because I was in my first lockdown, and I've been talking to friends, and they said the first lockdown in Auckland, especially, was time to spend, with family, friends, read a book. But the second one was stressful for everyone. Everyone was
Mhm.
like, I don't want this. It's like everyone was stressed out. Everyone was like panicking. Everyone was like, I just want this over, like, to be honest. And I was on the same page. I was like, I just want this over. Like the mental stress from knowing that the whole country was free and it was only
Mm.
us
Yeah.
here in Auckland that was we were in lockdown. So that was kind of like harsh in a way. But now we're just moving up to another level to more freedom. We are able to gather up to 100 people. So yeah, and just getting better here.
Mm. No, no, no. We are glad here that things is going better and a bit more freedoms and is going to normality step by step. I think you well deserve that holiday that you did for South Island. Hope you enjoyed every moment that you spent there. And it's like you said, this is amazing places in New Zealand, and it's worth to be discovered. It's worth to encourage tourism sector and encourage to be visited this place. And supporting our local shops, local businesses that are around New Zealand. So I think this is the better time to do that. So we may share this kind of experience in the show. What do you think, Luis?
I think that's a really, really good idea because like you need to explore your own backyard. You need to
Yeah.
explore what the country has instead of saying like, oh, I may want to go to Bali because like they have good beaches. But they do indeed, but New
Mm,
Zealand does as well. New Zealand has beautiful beaches. New Zealand has the most beautiful sceneries I ever seen in my life.
mm,
And people come from overseas to actually say this. And I'm like, wow, this is at the bottom of the world. And people come from overseas. And we live here and we don't actually explore what is here. So I mean like we encourage like Kiwi New Zealanders and residents and everyone that's in New Zealand right now to actually take the opportunity, and summer's coming up, to
yeah.
just explore the south, explore the North Island, go to places that you've never been to, and you'll find out there's so many things to do, especially if you go to Queenstown. Like Queenstown is the tourist destination. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's amazing. And yeah, I think the audience and listeners are listening to you. So we encourage them to visit wherever you want, south, north. There's amazing places to visit. Luis,
Hmm.
tell us about season two. What do you have in mind? What's planning? What things to bring to the show?
Yeah. So season two is more. I think it's a time for us as a community to actually explore different topics. I think that the first season we focus more on refugee issues and how to bring solutions, or different NGOs are actually doing the work in the field. But now I think we should go in different ways. And one of those ways that I thought that we can bring to the show was because I'm a graduate, and I just want to know the pathway of the graduates. What's after uni? It's great to be at university and to have the opportunity to be educated in the New Zealand education system. But then, what happened after uni? What are the students doing when they
Mm,
graduate? So I want to bring them to the radio show for them to express their views and to share with the audience, with me, like what's been happening, challenges, things that are working well, things that they wish they have known before. So I want to bring that to the show in our second season.
That's wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Yep. You're looking forward for that to happen. Luis, so we have asked all the team here around that to say one word for the season two, and the team chooses to start with E. Do you have a word for season two with E? Yeah, like E, exciting, or so you've been choose that, but what's your word?
Um, my one, well, it doesn't start with A, but it has
Yeah, you
E at the
can
same time.
choose. As,
It has more like live by example. You
Mhm.
have to actually be an example to others in order to change the narrative. Like if you want others
Mhm.
to be peaceful, then you have to behave in that way. You have to be peaceful, you have to be respectful, and just living by example says everything. Yeah, you don't have to persuade anyone. People are
Yeah,
actually seeing what you're doing, and you're living by example. That could be my word.
that's 2 words for season 2. Amazing. Great. Thank you so much, Luis. And
No
if you have
worries.
anything else to say to the audience and listeners, because we come to the end of the episode, go ahead.
Well, to the listeners and to everyone that is tuning in, I just want to say thanks for listening to us, and just keep listening to us, because like season 2 is gonna be epic. Like as I said, like we're gonna bring different topics, different guests, and it's gonna be way different, very different from season 1. So you better guys stay tuned.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Luis. And thank you, everyone, the team.
اسمري مالا مالا يا ماري مزيود دردي خمي وجنجاري اسمري مالا مالا يا ماري مزيود دردي خمي وجنجاري وبقى مايام كلي وبيالي سافر يا رختا بشبرو قرشالي وبقى مايام كلي وبيالي سافر يا رختا بشبرو قرشالي مورولا مورولا أسمري مورولا كرتي طيمنتيلا طانو يا قورا أسمر قنولا شنثة مناتي شلت تخبى صر بيداتي أسمر قنولا شنثة مناتي شلت تخبى صر بيداتي قول في نورم يا دبريناتي قرايا هواري وفوتنا خياتين قول في نورم يا دبريناتي قرايا هواري وفوتنا خياتين
Welcome back to the show, guys. So now we're going to be talking with Kadro and Hamid. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Kadro, you were one of our early guests last season. So
Yeah.
really want to hear from you and why you wanted to join Voice of Aroha and what you're hoping for season 2.
That's a good question. I really wasn't part of season 1 at all, except for that one interview that we did together. But I really enjoyed it, and since the interview, I've been just following the social medias and stuff, and I quite like what you guys do, and I know Codron already pretty well. Yeah, what I would like to see in season 2 would probably just be hearing from other voices and different perspectives, and I think it's a cool way to connect. So hearing different perspectives from within the community, outside of the community, just connecting with people is something I'm pretty keen on. So, yeah.
Yeah, welcome. We are so glad to have you, Khadro. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we have Hamid. Hamid, how are you? And what are you? How was you been? Tell us.
Hi guys, thank you so much. I'm fine, and I'm so glad to meet you again for started new season 2 of Voice of Aroha. Yeah, as I did something like sound engineer in season 1, and also I want to continue with this group. Is lovely group. I love all of you guys because you're amazing, and also yeah,
You are amazing too.
yeah,
Hamid.
thank you so much. Yeah, I got very useful experience for me with this group. And
No, we are so fortunate or glad
thank you
to have you behind all this editing and
Thank you so
the
much.
type of music that you choose always to put between the cut and
you.
bricks is just another kind very important, guys, because he put too much cultural music from Iran, Iraq, Colombia and English. That's the thing, also another crucial part to show how much is this different music and culture that we have is interesting, to learn and about this different sounds and music that we bring in from us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will go very well for ending of this season also. Yeah, same as season 1 was very great and good, and that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We are
Thank
glad and looking for more music events, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've
As
heard
I
about
talk-
your musical talents at IFC,
Oh,
and
thank
we're
you.
actually planning to invite you to a few of our events.
Yeah. I talked with Kodrian with some plans about music and events, and we need to talk more about it.
Yep.
Hopefully we
Definitely.
can do something in future,
Definitely, yeah,
near
yes.
future soon.
yeah, very near future. So that's how we're telling the audience. Follow our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you will keep more informed of us. Khadro, what
Yeah.
kind of events you are looking to do
Events.
or have doing in this season 2? Yeah.
Yeah, just like I said before, I just like connecting with people from all walks of life, all the
Yeah.
people. So anyone who can enrich my life would be great. And yeah, so I'm always keen.
Cool. And Kadro, tell us, because I still remember from your interview, you are a good writer. You still want to
wouldn't
do
say
some
good,
writing and
but-
blogs.
I do write on the side, and I really, really enjoy writing. It's a very, very big part of who I am. And I have learnt over time to use my skills
Yeah.
and craft it and try and bring out my voice through my writing, because I think it's just the best way for me to connect with other people is through my writing. So I try really hard to put that out into the world, and I am working on a couple projects at the moment, which is exciting.
That's
So
amazing.
hopefully one day.
That's
to
cool,
share it.
Nana. You are amazing and looking very forward for it. So you're having
Oh,
that
thank you.
writing and adding this audio now.
Yeah,
So
adding radio talk show to the list. Yeah, that's always
you
great.
can create another experience having both.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're so glad to have you here again, Khadro. And I think we are coming also in the end of this episode. So any kind last words? Maybe say one word for season 2. What will be your word? The guy started with an E. How about you?
Starting with an E.
Yeah. No, you can choose any word, but the same.
A word that starts with an E. That is just.
Yeah, like I mean, the
season
team
2.
said exciting engagement.
Oh,
and-
okay. That's okay. Explosion
Okay.
of ideas.
That's cool. Hamid,
Also E for me.
if you want,
I had to do it. I think it's fair.
let's say end of.
Success.
Oh,
Oh,
success. Great.
success. Yeah.
E-success. Electronic success, baby. Yeah. All electronic success and physics. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think we are coming to the end. And thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Quadrin.
all of you team and guys. Yeah, listeners, thank you for listening. See you next week. Bye-bye.
My savior, my healer, redeemer. You say you set me free, now I'm free indeed. My helper, protector, provider. Yeah. Set me free, now I'm free indeed. There is no one like you, God. There is no one else like you. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. He's good to me. Sing with me now. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. He's good to me. I know my God is good. He is my freedom. He set me free. Now I'm free indeed. The love of my life in every season. Set me free. Now I'm free indeed. There is no one like you, God. There is no one else like you. Oh yeah. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. He's good to me. Yeah. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. Oh my God is good. He's good to me. I can hear the sound breaking of the chains. I'm living free and I'll never be the same. My God is good and that's never gonna change. No way, no way, no way, no way. Jesus save me, and his love is so amazing.